hideous. Or should I say adorable? Why, you're as bony as a porcelain doll. Is that bony or Bonnie? No, the trial. What else are you on about? Oh, very interesting. Yes, very interesting indeed. I believe I may have poisoned myself. Now there's a predicament. And guess what? Do you recall those antidotes I prepared at the base? Because I've forgotten to bring them. You are your own worst enemy, do you know that? I suggest we retreat before you decide to dive headfirst into the springs for fun. Unbound scum. You think we'll allow you to walk free after all the chaos you've caused? Well, yes, actually. Have you seen Ellerette? She's in no state to contend with you, and I've never been one for rough and tumble. Of course, you're welcome to give chase, provided you have no qualms about leaving these poor souls to laugh themselves senseless. Oh, retreat though we must. I would call today a rousing success, but worry you not, my dearest bushel of busybodies. We've plenty more tricks in store for you, and entire island. Haha. Okay. Phew. I don't sense any toxins in the waters anymore, so the springs should be safe again. Well, that's good at least. What will happen to the toxins from here? Seeing as Ellerette suffered from a taste of her own medicine, I doubt she's mastered much of the Heartsting's power. As such, any poisons she produces from it would be relatively weak. Most of her handiwork has already evaporated with the steam. One might compare it to the way those awful unbound smoke bombs dissipate. Thank goodness they do. In more capable hands, however, the Heartsting's poison remains active unless dispelled with Esuna, or another form of antidote. The same permanence applies to its cleansing abilities for our food. Now, there's much on my mind, but I think we've bigger problems to address first. Let's make our rounds of the camp, then talk about our next steps. I'm going to have a look around the springs to ensure the toxins are gone for good. Could I ask you to treat any victims you come across? It's thundering. Much appreciated, sir. I wasn't anywhere near the water when it was poisoned, but the toxic steam must have drifted this way. When I heard the rumblings about mysterious mammoths roaming around the camp recently, I was more than a little apprehensive, but I never expected those mammoths' masters would do something so cruel. Your efforts are helping us put this turmoil behind us. For that, you have my thanks. But I can't simply let you administer this aid alone. I should tend to the remaining victims as well. Befuddled. Oh. My costumed compatriots, they're gone. Farewell, my visions. May you revel on in my memory. They say laughter is the best medicine, though I feel far worse than before. Many thanks for putting an end to it. I think I've earned myself another soak and an extra flagon of mulled wine. Pleasant travels to you, healer. Oh, thank the gods. I wasn't expecting to nearly laugh myself to death at a place meant for healing, but at least I can breathe easy again. I hear you're chasing after the ones who did this. You're either very brave or very reckless, but I'm inclined to assume the former. Any road, all that laughing has exhausted me, so I may as well take a break from my soak. Thank you again for your kindness, and may the navigator keep you. No problem. How goes the healing, Plum? Wonderful. I'm glad Asuna proved effective. For my part, I've given the springs a thorough look. The toxins have dissipated completely, so the bathers should be safe from here on out. As for Elaret and Kokonoa's antics, I've had a moment to reflect on everything. Now that our work is done, do you have a moment to chat? I'm well versed in the numbing and blinding poisons we use on our hunts at home. But something kept troubling me about Elaret's toxin. I've never seen anything like it. I had no idea it even existed among the Scorpion's gifts. Elaret may be inexperienced, but the fact that she's learned to inflict hallucinations is cause for concern. Still, we should try to look on the right side. She's yet to discover the heartsting's cleansing properties, judging by the way she couldn't cure her own ailments. Knowing her as we do, I reckon she only has toxic trickery on her mind. Kokonoa, however, handled himself surprisingly well despite his exposure. Do you recall the man in Limsa who ate the poison apple? He claimed that Kokonoa took a bite and never suffered its ill effects. He must have some manner of immunity, but how? Second one? How intriguing. So instead of using an heirloom like the heartstring, the Dunes folk train their bodies to endure fatal toxins. I'd be interested to try that tea, as long as I had an antidote in hand. I didn't realize Kokonoa might have had that sort of upbringing, but it would certainly explain why Elaret's tricks don't seem to affect him. Few in my village would ever think to consume potentially lethal food or drink without drawing on the Heartsting's power. Yet the Dunes folk do it gladly. The more I consider our differing approaches to poison, the more fascinating it becomes. But I have a feeling the bathers won't want to overhear talk of poison after what they've just been through. Why don't we continue our discussion in Limsa? Phew. I know I've been anxious to ascertain our thieves' whereabouts, but things escalated far quicker than I thought. Your presence throughout the whole ordeal was a welcome one, Blum. What was not so welcome were Elleret's parting words. Whatever she has planned for the whole island, it can't possibly be good. Her acts of mischief have only grown worse since I arrived in this city. We must take the Heartsting back before she causes any lasting harm. Of course, it was Wislam and Zareg's efforts that led us to Elleret, so I'll have to thank them when I get the chance. In the meantime, I'll do what I can to track down our unruly thieves and report to you as soon as I'm able. Downed by the river. Plum, I'm glad you're here. I'm on the cusp of a breakthrough in our search, or I'd like to think so. This won't come as a surprise, but Elleret and Kokonoa went back into hiding after the Bronze Lake incident. With all their grandstanding, I wasn't expecting them to lay low for so long, but I doubt they'll keep it that way. Fortunately, we have prior experience to guide us. Until now, our culprits have traveled all over Vilbrand. They don't appear to be retracing their steps. I hear Costa del Sol attracts many visitors, so that seems a likely target. They'd say it's owned by an entrepreneur named Gegaruju. Perhaps we can ask if he's spied anything out of the ordinary. What picturesque scenery. I hadn't expected Costa del Sol to be so grand. From what I gather, Gegaruju should be just up ahead. I don't suppose you're already acquainted with him? I am. That's reassuring to hear. I'd feared he'd be wary of strangers, but it sounds like that won't be an issue in your company. In any case, let's be on our way. Well, if it isn't our favorite intrepid adventurer, what business brings you to my abode? Why yes, I did spy that lovely specimen over here. Alas, I was so entranced by her feminine wiles that I cannot recall any such an entourage of Lalafellan men or mammoths. Ah, would that I never drank that wine she so gracefully gifted me. A single sip, and I saw oh so many stars. I thought them wonderful in those first blissful moments. I partook of the drink amongst my retinue of kittens, yet as the rush of stars subsided, I find myself surrounded by a flock of unfamiliar faces instead. At first I presumed the wine caught up to me faster than I had anticipated, but time passed and the unknown faces stubbornly remained. I dashed across the shore in terror. In the midst of the mayhem I could hear her, the wine-wielding beauty, maniacally laughing in the distance with some other chap. I feared these cackles would be the last thing I ever heard. Which is precisely why I found it appropriate to slap the sense back into him. Judging by the way Master Gegaruju was darting around at the time, I suspected he'd been in his cups. Drank the whole bloody bottle too, so if you wish to investigate the wine itself, I'm afraid that won't be possible. Can you blame me? Questionability of her wine aside, that woman was immaculate. A sight for sore eyes. Any gentleman of taste would have fallen for her tricks. Though we may lack the drink in question, we received reports of mammoths roaming Raincatcher Gully not long after the incident. If you intend to investigate this further, you'll certainly be doing us a favor. Any news of wayward mammoths is promising for us. We'll give the gully a look and relay to you whatever we find. Godspeed out there. Then our next destination is clear. But before we depart, Plum, might I have a word? Based on Gegaruju's accounts, it's safe to say Elaret's discovered a new poison. While similar to the hallucinatory toxin she used at Bronze Lake, it strikes terror into the hearts of its victims instead. I have a bad feeling about this. She's gaining proficiency with Heart Sting at an alarming rate, so you must tread carefully when next we cross paths with her. As for the mammoths, Kokonoha doesn't seem the type to send them wandering around aimlessly. That's why I think they're bound to have some clues on them. If you can track those mammoths down in Raincatcher Gully, we may be able to discern what those two are planning next. Phew, I think we've cleared out the mammoths. How fared your hunt? So they've been keeping a record of the island's rivers. Oddly enough, the mammoths I came across were patrolling the river as well. Now that they've tested their poisons on Bronze Lake Springs, do they mean to take to the rivers next? Oh. Plum, watch out! My. That dart was laced with a potent numbing toxin. But nothing bruises our favorite fairy apple, it seems. You never cease to amaze and annoy me in equal measure. She's like to have the same manner of immunity as I. Her village was positively brimming with poisonous flora and fauna, after all. I have a request for you, my dears. Would you please give up on your little trinket, pretty please? I only wish to revel in the fruits of my devilry, yet to continue to spoil my every attempt And trust me. Oh, yet you continue to spoil my every attempt. And trust me, I despise our conflict as much as you do. Indeed. Do you think we enjoy watching our finest mammoths suffer at your hands? Enough. If you truly wanted to end this, you'd hand over the Heartsting. The Scorpion's gifts weren't meant for a petulant, childish criminal like you. Fine then. No more Miss Nice Elleret, but answer me this. Who have my antics killed, Who? No one, I remind you. So why must you refuse me? Why must the world refuse me? Our blighted society has never looked fondly upon my love of mischief. For years I despaired, until my unbound family and its leader granted me the greatest gift of all, love and understanding. So long as I remain unbound, I dare not what the wretched masses think. Oh, I care not. I shall play my tricks as my heart desires, and all who stand in defiance will know my wrath. That includes you, my dears. My next scheme will finally plunge this island into the chaos I so desperately crave, and I will stop at nothing to see it realized. Uh-oh. Sorry to worry you, Plum. I'm feeling much better now. I'm ashamed I didn't sense that mammoth's presence quickly enough, but I'm glad you came out of the ambush unscathed. That aside, I wish they didn't use such putrid smoke to make their exits. I don't know if my nose or my stomach can take any more of those awful bombs. With Elleret and Kokonoa gone, I doubt we'll be able to find much else here. Let's return to Costa del Sol and inform them of the latest. Oops. Shall we report to Gegaruju? Back already? How fortuitous, or ominous, or both even. I take it you found those wayward mammoths. Surveying Villebren's waterways, are they? After the recent poisoning at Camp Bronze Lake, we have reason to believe the culprits are planning to make Villebren's rivers their next target. So the culprits are one and the same, then. I'd had my suspicions since I caught wind of the incident at Warm Wine Springs. Regardless, this bodes ill. We may not know which of these rivers they'll strike until it's too late. Well, I shall not stand for any more preposterous poisonings. It would be prudent to inform the Maelstrom of these potential horrors. The one who poisoned you, her name is Elleret. She stole something precious from my village, and I must recover it, no matter the cost. If you learn anything of her whereabouts or her plans in the coming days, anything at all, I'd like to hear of it as well. Hell's bent on finding her, eh? A brave one you are. Oh, I could possibly deprive a lovely lady of the information she requires. Worry not, for my servants shall sally forth in your general direction the moment they hear of Elleret's newest misdeeds. Thank you. That'd be much appreciated. It's going to be an uphill battle, but we can't afford to let Elleret and Kokonoa elude us any further. Come, Plum, it's back to Limsa Lominsa with us. Bum, 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 bum. Actually, before I go there, give me 1 second. Be right back.